Welcome to our today's story of the things you should never do to anyone or let them happen to you. Once upon a time, in a quiet and picturesque village nestled between rolling hills and a serene river, there lived a wise old woman named Agnes. She was known far and wide for her wisdom and kindness. Agnes had lived in the village for as long as anyone could remember, and her wrinkled face and snow-white hair seemed to hold the secrets of the world. She had seen generations come and go, and her tales were filled with wisdom passed down through the ages. One warm summer evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the sky in hues of orange and pink, the villagers gathered at Agnes' humble cottage. They sat on the wooden porch, their faces eager to hear her stories. Agnes, with a twinkle in her eyes, began to speak. "My dear children," she began, "tonight, I shall tell you a tale of the unspoken rules of life. These are the things you should never do to anyone, nor accept to be done to you, for they hold the key to a harmonious existence." The villagers leaned in, their hearts open to the wisdom that Agnes was about to share. Never steal trust. The first rule, my dears, is to never steal trust. Trust is a delicate gift, easily shattered and difficult to mend. When someone confides in you, guard their trust as you would a precious gem. Never betray it, for once it's gone, it may never return. Never break promises. A promise, my children, is a sacred bond. When you give your word, you are binding your character to that commitment. Never break promises, for it erodes the foundation of trust upon which relationships are built. Never inflict pain for pleasure. Inflicting pain on another for your own pleasure is the ultimate act of cruelty. It is a darkness that stains the soul. Instead, seek joy in bringing happiness to others, for that is the true path to fulfillment. Never judge without understanding. We are all different, my dear ones. Never judge someone without seeking to understand their story. Each person carries a burden that we may not see. Approach others with empathy and compassion, for this is the way to forge connections. Never spread falsehoods. Falsehoods are like wildfire, consuming all in their path. Never spread lies or gossip, for they can destroy lives and relationships. Speak the truth, and if the truth is unkind, then let silence be your answer. Never take more than you give. In life, we must take and give in equal measure. Never be a taker without being a giver. Balance is the key to harmony, both in our relationships and in our connection with the world. Never hold grudges. Grudges are heavy burdens, my dear ones. They weigh down the heart and poison the soul. Learn to forgive, for it is not an act of weakness but one of strength. Forgiveness frees you from the shackles of anger and bitterness. Never disregard the golden rule. The golden rule, my children, is a timeless truth: treat others as you wish to be treated. It is the cornerstone of all morality. Live by it, and you shall find that kindness and goodness surround you. As Agnes shared these unspoken rules, the villagers nodded in agreement. They recognized the profound wisdom in her words and felt a deep sense of gratitude for her guidance. Years passed, and Agnes continued to impart her wisdom to new generations of villagers. Her teachings became the guiding principles of their lives, and the village flourished as a haven of kindness and compassion. One day, as Agnes sat on her porch, gazing at the same hills and river that had witnessed generations come and go, a young traveler approached her. He had heard of Agnes and her wisdom and had come seeking guidance. "Tell me, wise Agnes," the traveler asked, "what is the secret to a life well lived? What should I never do to anyone, nor accept to be done to me?" Agnes smiled, her eyes twinkling with the same wisdom that had captivated the villagers for so long. She replied, "My dear traveler, the secret to a life well lived lies in the unspoken rules that I have shared with you today. Carry them in your heart, and you shall find that the path to a harmonious existence is illuminated by their light." The young traveler nodded, his heart filled with gratitude for the timeless wisdom he had received. As he continued on his journey, he carried Agnes' teachings with him, spreading kindness, understanding, and forgiveness wherever he went. And so, the unspoken rules of life, passed down through the ages by the wise old woman of the village, continued to shape the destinies of countless souls, reminding them of the things they should never do to anyone, nor accept to be done to them, for these rules held the key to a life filled with love, compassion, and harmony. As the years rolled on, the legacy of Agnes and her unspoken rules continued to flourish. The young traveler's journey took him far and wide, and he, in turn, became a beacon of wisdom and kindness, sharing Agnes' teachings with everyone he met. In the village, the generations grew and changed, but the values instilled by Agnes remained constant. Families passed down her stories and the unspoken rules to their children, ensuring that the timeless wisdom was never lost. One day, as the village celebrated a grand festival, a group of travelers from distant lands arrived. They marveled at the warmth and harmony that enveloped the village. They sought out Agnes, the wise old woman they had heard so much about, and asked her about the secret behind the village's extraordinary way of life. Agnes welcomed the travelers and, with a smile, shared the unspoken rules with them. The travelers, deeply moved by the wisdom and compassion they encountered, vowed to carry these rules back to their own lands and share them with their communities. As time passed, the unspoken rules of life began to spread far and wide, transcending borders and cultures. People from all corners of the world embraced these principles, recognizing that they held the key to building a better world. The world began to change. Acts of kindness and understanding replaced hatred and intolerance. Trust among nations and individuals grew stronger, and forgiveness became a common practice. The world had become a more compassionate and harmonious place, thanks to the unspoken rules. In the quiet village, Agnes continued to sit on her porch, content in the knowledge that her wisdom had touched the lives of countless people. She watched as the young traveler who had once sought her guidance now sat by her side, an old man himself, passing on the torch of wisdom to a new generation. And so, the story of Agnes and the unspoken rules of life became a legend, a timeless tale of how a single person's wisdom and kindness could ripple through the ages, transforming the world one heart at a time. As the sun set over the village, casting long shadows and painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, the villagers gathered once again on Agnes' porch. They listened to the wind rustling through the trees and the gentle flow of the river, and they felt the presence of all those who had come before them, all those who had lived by the unspoken rules and left a legacy of love and compassion. Agnes smiled at the villagers, her eyes filled with the wisdom of ages. She knew that her time in this world was coming to an end, but she was at peace, for she had fulfilled her purpose in life. Her teachings would live on, carried in the hearts of those she had touched. And so, with the knowledge that the unspoken rules would continue to guide generations to come, Agnes closed her eyes one final time, her spirit joining the countless others who had embraced the timeless wisdom of a life well lived. In that moment, as the villagers looked upon her with gratitude and love, they knew that the legacy of Agnes and the unspoken rules would endure, a testament to the power of kindness, understanding, and forgiveness in a world hungry for harmony and compassion.